Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit from Nightbirds, which is what I hope will eventually be my first novel-length piece of writing. So this is a little bit of the draft version of chapter 2, and it's called Humanities. The Tinder app chirruped gaily in my pocket, like a little digital blackbird. I'd matched with Seb, 27. Seb had studied English literature at Durham and was now living in Glasgow for reasons unspecified. He was handsome. But in one of his pictures, he was wearing one of those t-shirts that lists famously associated names in hip vertical text. John and Paul and George and Ringo, for example. Except his said Derrida and Baudrillard and Foucault and Zizek. This immediately burst the delicate bubble of denial I preferred to keep suspended for as long as possible when it came to the fit ones. He was clearly on some level, on every level perhaps, a cock. Dithering, I zoomed in on a couple of his other photos. He had jagged, daintily fragile white teeth and a chiselled jawline. Chiselled enough that I could probably forget the implications of the t-shirt if a coital scenario were to present itself. Reluctant to participate in the inevitable and vastly unsexy fellow students of literature circle jerk opening dance, my fingers worked deftly to take my degree details off my profile. Too late. Another chirrup, slightly different in tonal quality this time, a chaffinch perhaps, heralded a message. Kathy. I would have guessed you were a fellow lit student. Us humanities folk can sniff each other out like wolves. In my mind I circled the words I took exception to. Lit, humanities, and perhaps unreasonably, folk. In some sort of Star Trek-y digital red pen and sent the message back to him. I considered and rejected a string of hollow, enabling replies incorporating Wuthering Heights references I had used several times in the past in the course of similarly dismal exchanges. Eventually, I went back into profile settings and deleted my main display photo, which was a picture of me in a slightly insipid, double-skirted floral dress, long red hair flowing in waves to my waist, and I replaced it with a more recent image. In it, my lips were drenched in gloss and parted in an overt display of sex-doll sexuality, and I was wearing a top I'd ordered on ASOS that was really technically underwear. I put my phone back in my pocket and made myself a hot chocolate. Ostentatious peacocking was a good acid test, I found. It separated the talkers from the ones with hard-ons they actually wanted to do something about. After about 10 minutes, my phone pinged again. Blimey.